2, 1. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Checker Chat. I'm Blake.
And I'm Daniel filling in for Justin.
Yeah, Justin
Happy to be
isn't
here.
fired yet. Don't worry. We're testing
Still
out
got
the
a
new
job for
guy.
that.
Yeah. No, he moved like we've been talking about. His office isn't set up yet officially, completely. So understandable. We're not gonna rush him. We're gonna let him move into his apartment and get all happy and moved out.
But he's got one more week.
Yeah, that's it. Daniel's booked up next week. I ain't doing it by myself again. You got till next Wednesday, Justin.
Better get on it.
Especially after you ruined who won the race for me. Thanks, buddy.
Ooh, goodness.
I'm kidding. All right, so for once, we actually have a little bit of news to talk about. So it's good for you. I feel like the past few weeks, me and Justin have been like, okay, so here's a couple things we'll kind of talk about, but like other than that, nothing happened. So in honor of this being a joint episode with Daniel and Mr. Hendrick Motorsports himself over there, we're going to kick it off with some Corey Day. Dale Jr. had said that after the COTA weekend, that Rick Hendrick and company, like they all had a sit-down meeting with Corey Day. As long as that doesn't go the route of like Ross Chastain, like putting him on a leash and holding him back, I am A-okay with that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this guy's your driver. He's in your stable. He's in your equipment. I have a feeling the conversation went a little different than it did with Chastain.
Yeah.
But I like what I see so far from his results anyway.
Yeah. That's the big thing with him is I don't dislike him. He's not my favorite yet. He hasn't been around and won me over enough.
Yeah, sure.
But he has raw speed and doesn't, like, no disrespect, but he doesn't fully know what he's doing yet running asphalt ovals, and he's able to just pull all of this raw speed out of the car. So that's a very good sign. And like a lot of people have said, as long as he can just clean up some of the little stuff that he's had going on lately, he'll be good. Like, leave him in there a couple of years, developmental series, developmental driver, let it work itself out. And I think by the end, you'll have a pretty good driver that's cup ready.
I think so too. I mean, these are growing pains.
Yeah.
All drivers go through this. He just hasn't been in this discipline of racing yet. And so this was to be expected, to be honest with you. He kind of burst onto the scene with some run-ins. And I think the biggest thing with the run-ins is that it's been teammates pretty much. So like if it was other cars on the track, probably not as big of a deal to Hendrick, but it's been the JRM cars.
Yeah.
So, but he's in a rocket ship and he doesn't have the technicality skills yet, and he's still getting great results. So, I mean, I'm impressed so far through the first month.
And it definitely, you can tell that like this was Kyle Larson went out, handpicked this guy and was like, just give him a shot. Trust me, just give him a shot. Because
give him a shot. Give him some time.
I see similar traits of I'm not going to say obviously he's on the same level as Larson because that would just be wrong. But I like he started dirt. That was kind of where he cut his teeth. But he can get in these cars and go. And Larson, one of his big things, I mean, other than Indy last year, it has been he can get in a car and he can extract basically what the car is capable of, if not maybe more sometimes, no matter what it is. Like, you have a car, you need to see, you have the money, Larson. Like,
yep, he's that guy right now.
Yeah. This one I'm interested to see your take on. So Cletus McFarland joins RCR on a part-time schedule in the 33 car. His first race will be Rockingham. And essentially, my understanding is as long as he doesn't cause wrecks, he isn't super duper slow, and he kind of blends in and just runs the race and finishes it, he'll be good to go for Talladega, Daytona, maybe Atlanta. I know they said super speedways. I don't know if they'll put him in Atlanta, but
yeah. This is another this guy's probably less qualified than Corey Day is by a long shot. So this is going to take even more time for Cletus. And I don't know if O'Reilly is the place to go start getting time in a seat.
Yeah.
He's definitely going to need to get some deals either in some trucks or a lot more ARCA experience. But to get a shot at 3 races with RCR, I mean, that's going to be a good car that he's getting in. And like you said, he's just expected to not tear the thing up and not to go cause, chaos for the leaders that are racing for the win during those races, just to get experience. this is probably more a conversation of like how you get qualified to race in the
Yeah.
series now or passing the test, you know. He did that. Whatever that test was, he passed it.
Yeah.
So, like for that, I'm good with him racing in it. Just hope it goes well. Hope he learns while he's out there. But like
Yeah.
I said, I want to see him get a lot more experience at the lower levels.
Yeah. Because I think my big thing is it's a weird drawing similarities, but it's like Jesse Love winning the championship last year, and in certain situations, you can't hate the guy in the situation for it. You need to be
Right.
more upset with NASCAR themselves and the box because they're playing within the box. They're checking off
Format.
the rules. Everything's
Yeah.
good. That was how the playoffs went last year, and Jesse Love won over Zillage. And then when you look at Cletus, you can't really be mad at him because all he wants to do, I mean, if you've watched his videos ever, he used to always do it for Dale, raise hell, praise Dale, all that stuff. Now, be like Biff, all of that. All he wants to do is run NASCAR and
Yeah.
be like Greg Biffle and be like Dale Earnhardt. No, he obviously isn't as skilled as either of those. I'm not drawing that similarity, but at the end of the day, they said, do this and then you can race. He's done that. Now he can
He's done it.
race. And like Kyle Busch, he had said, like, my son Brexton's 10 and has ran more races than him and is probably more qualified to get in a car. While I don't wholeheartedly disagree with that, it's
Right.
really just they're playing with the rules that they're given. And if you can get him in, get him in. I mean, because you're going to get viewership increase. They're going to do a live stream inside his car on YouTube. I mean,
Yeah.
you're getting the sport out to more eyes. And as long as he doesn't cause a lot of drama, chaos, and mess, it's not a lose. I mean, so what if the guy goes out there and runs 30th 2 laps down? He's
Right.
out there. You got new eyes on the sport. He's a good personality to have. Like it doesn't feel bad, but I get the hesitancy of everybody to be like, no, this is awesome. We love it. Because at the end of the day, I think they want to see the licensing get stricter for the lower series because they're developmental series, but like ran 8 ARCA races, maybe 1 truck race, and now he's signed a deal with RCR to do part-time O'Reilly's. I mean, it is a lot very fast.
Yeah, very true. Like you said, I think he's got great motivation to do it for the right reasons.
Yeah.
And don't hate the player, hate the game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Real quick though, what did you think of those comments coming from Kyle Busch though, a cup driver at RCR? Kind of funny, right?
I think if you really want to read between the lines and listen to some of his radio and his mannerisms, he's 1 foot in the door, 1 foot out the door. If a seat doesn't open up and he can't leave RCR, I think that RCR is just dead to him.
Yeah.
And I can't, like, younger me would be like so mad that I'm about to say this, but like I feel bad for the guy because he got thrown out of Gibbs for Ty Gibbs of all people. And then he goes to RCR and you're like, oh, dude, Kyle's back. He won 3 races the first year. Like maybe this is going to help RCR. Nothing ever since. And it's like, I mean, I get it. He's one of the most winning drivers of all time across all series. And now he's battling for his life to fight with Riley Herbst and like stay on the lead lap. Like,
no, for real, no.
You kind of feel bad for him because he feels like a joke at the moment, like just mentally.
Yeah, 60-win guy.
Yeah.
Two-time champion. But yeah, those comments didn't surprise me. It was Rowdy being Rowdy.
Yeah.
That's just what he does. Yeah.
Now, I mean, if it was like Austin Dillon or like Jesse Love or Austin Hill, I think you'd have a little different reaction. You'd be like, why are you, did they not tell you not to say that? Like, are you not going to get in trouble? But it's Rowdy.
Yeah.
Kind of par for the course.
That's just him.
So Allgaier is filling in this week for Bowman in the 48 car, still dealing with his vertigo issues. I don't want to like get dark or like predict the end of his career or anything, but there are just so many eerie similarities to the end of Junior. And Junior handpicked Bowman to replace him. Like me and Lily were talking about this. I was like, it's weird. It messes with my head.
That's a very interesting comparison that is pretty spot on. Yeah. You can't help but think about this being how it ends for Bowman. You hate to think it, like you said, but it's the reality of the sport. It's cutthroat.
Yeah.
And if you can't be in that car, then you're going to be out of a job.
And the other thing too, and like with Junior, I think at some point, like he just got married. or no, he got engaged, not married yet. But like at some point, you have to think about you're gonna be mid to late 30s, maybe younger 40s when you hang it up.
Right.
You have so much life after the sport. If you're already dealing with head issues from the wrecks you've had, at some point it might just be smarter to say, I got to race and win in the 48 car for Hendrick Motorsports. I've made my living, I've had my fun, and I'm at the point now where I just don't feel like it's worth the risk anymore to get in the car and one bad wreck mess me up for my life after racing.
Right. Yeah, you got to think longevity, and you got to think about racing is not your entire life, unfortunately.
Yeah.
To some guys, they treat it like it is. They're maniacs.
Yeah.
But if he wants a family, if he wants a future, he's going to have to heavily consider what the next step is.
Yeah. So hopefully, I think they haven't ruled one way or the other for Darlington, so we might see him back for Darlington. Wouldn't be a bad track because ultimately, if you do, and this sounds so bad to like say, but I mean, if you do get in a wreck, it shouldn't be that bad or that hard of a hit at the speeds they run there. Like, I'm not wishing the guy to get back in the car and get in a wreck, but your worst fear coming back from head, like, because vertigo would be, at least to me, looking back to last year, he had that really, really hard crash at Michigan where it like lifted the whole car off the ground. And then his results dipped after that. And then he started this year, big wreck in the 500, wrecked hard at Atlanta, goes to Coda, and then he's like, dude, I can't even finish this race.
Yeah, and that's a mental game too. You just can't get it out of your head.
Yeah.
The feeling of those crashes. Yeah.
And then I'll kind of speed through the rest of the news so we can get rolling on the actual races that happen this weekend. Chase Briscoe is going to run the 19 car in Las Vegas this weekend because Brent Cruz has still not turned 18, so he's not eligible to run a track that big, which is insane.
That is. You think he would probably have a chance, but he ain't going to get that chance.
Yeah. And that's the thing is like at first when they were talking about, he needs to maximize his points in the first few races he has before he can get in full time to still make the chase. I'm like, that's not. And then I watched him race at Coda and I was like, no, that could happen. And then I watched him race at Phoenix and I was like, no, he could definitely still make the chase.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Myatt Snyder will be racing in the O'Reilly Series race, so that's good to see. After he got to do the fill in for the end of Coda, he gets another shot to get back in the car. A couple things on the whole Gibbs Gabe Hart drama. They hired a private investigator to follow him after the end of the 2025 season. Like I saw pictures where it was like him and then Jeff Dickerson of Spire. They had like pictures like you could tell that were taken with like a long distance camera of like them eating in a restaurant. And they had like time of when Gabe Hart got to Spire, picked him up, took him out to eat. They sat and talked for like an hour and a half. He drove him back and dropped him off at Spire. I'm like, what do y'all got going on over there? Like with trust issues where you're having this dude. Yeah. He still worked there technically. Like I think at that point he wasn't, hey, like, peace out. Like, we're just going to agree to go our separate ways. And then Ty Gibbs put it together this week and finished fourth at Phoenix, which Coda was understandable. He's always been really good on a road course. But he finally kind of showed something on an oval. And then they talked to him after the race. And he took a shot at Gabe Hart and he said, well, I'm with the right guys now. And that makes the difference. I'm like, okay, buddy, let's simmer down a little bit. 2 weeks. It's not really a streak yet. But
will he ever get humbled?
I don't
Probably
know.
not. Probably not.
Cragson had the best opportunity in the world to do it in the Xfinity Series, but they were both racing for the championship, so I don't think he was willing to ruin his chance to take Gibbs out. And then, so Suarez, you've kind of seen a couple times this year when the Clash and Coda really come to mind. But when he's been around in his Spire car, when he's been around Trackhouse guys, my bad. Let me just turn here. Dude's bitter. You can definitely tell. I can't blame him, but enough's enough at a certain point. And then his wife just piled on Twitter this week because he topped the practice charts and qualified fourth. And she said, it's amazing the things you can do when you're no longer an afterthought in your organization. Somebody take her phone away. Like, you think he went back to the hauler and he's like, babe, hey, let's not start that. Just leave it. I've already hit them enough this year. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, if there's a little extra drama, a little extra juice to come out of the weekend, I'm not against it.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love the beef.
It brings personalities out, And I
Yeah,
think we
exactly.
lack that a little bit nowadays. All right, so we'll jump into the O'Reilly's race this weekend. It was actually like one of the better on drafting track O'Reilly's races that I've seen in the past 2-3 years. I feel like, because there were
Yeah.
comers, there were goers, tires really mattered. Like it was a very fun race to watch, and I was interested to see, IndyCar runs different tires than we do. So they followed IndyCar, and all the IndyCar rubber was down, and it really didn't affect anything. And sometimes, I don't know if I'm wrong or if I'm ignorant in thinking because they run Firestones and we run Goodyears that they're gonna pick up weird on the tires or the track, whatever. But it worked good. I would love to see more IndyCar NASCAR crossover.
Same.
I think that was a really cool deal. I had serious FOMO that I was not
Dude,
there.
same here.
I watched the IndyCar race. And I was like, oh, dude, to sit there and watch them, like, because watching qualifying, I think pole speed average over 2 laps was 175 miles an hour at Phoenix. I was like, to
That's
see
just
them
crazy.
rip around
Yeah.
Phoenix, like, oh, that would have been killer.
Yeah, I was just sharing on my pod. I had super FOMO. There was nothing I could do about it. It was a graduation weekend for
Yeah.
me. But the next time they do this crossover weekend, I do not want to miss it.
Almost to the point that, like, I said on our pod, I was like, this is the year I'm getting into IndyCar. And I've watched every race so far. I joined like a fantasy league on Grid Rivals for IndyCar. I've been keeping up with practice, qualifying. I'm like, if I'm going to do
Yeah.
it, I'm going to do it. I'm
Yeah.
almost to the point that I want to like fly up to Nashville or drive up to Nashville, whatever makes more sense at the time, and go watch the IndyCar race at Nashville this year.
Yeah, that'd be
I've got
cool.
hooked in 2 weeks.
Is that on a track or the streets?
It's at the Nashville Superspeedway.
Okay. Do you have a favorite driver yet in the series?
So, not officially. I like Pato Award. I really like Newgarden, but Rasmussen this weekend, I was like, dude, that guy just lays it out there. Like, everybody else is like, oh, I'm going to be conservative. I'm not going to try to slide. Nope. He gets to lap down cars and passes them with like half an inch from his wing to the tires and is like just cutting through. And I'm like, get this guy in a NASCAR, please. Like, just once. Like, put him in O'Reilly's car if they do a crossover weekend. Get him in a cup car. Like, if that dude had fenders, he would be so fun to watch. Not that he's not in IndyCar, but if he could beat and bang a little bit, that'd be awesome.
Well, sorry to get you off of O'Reilly there.
You're good. You're good.
That's what we did.
Yeah. To start the race, Sam Mayer had to drop to the back for unapproved adjustments, along with Ryan Ellis, and Nathan Bird. The race started off. Taylor Gray and Jesse Love were on the front row. Jesse Love, honestly, has kind of felt like one of the non-JRM sleepers to really watch when you go to Phoenix now. And that showed last year. Like, he always runs up front, but he's never been as dominant as he was this weekend. So by lap 6, Allgaier had started 17th. He was already up to 10th. And we all know, I mean, this is Allgaier's track. Like, dude owns Phoenix, it feels like. As long as something doesn't go wrong, like, he is there. So by lap 11, Jesse Love had passed Taylor Gray, taken the lead. And then, well, that battle lasted about 2 laps. Lap 13, he officially cleared. Nick Sanchez still with growing pains at AM Racing. He slowed from 29th with a power issue on lap 15. And then from then on out was just laps down, kind of gone. Then Taylor Gray started to struggle, which seemed like the theme of the day was the Gibbs cars. Even if they got track position, they just couldn't hold it. And I don't know if that was they missed the setup, their cars weren't as good, or if that just showed how strong like Jesse Love was and the JRM guys were.
Yeah. And I think Denny said on his pod that the JGR guys in O'Reilly on short tracks have been struggling recently. It's probably a trend that they need to fix.
Yeah. And I think some of that is you no longer have Almirola to just jump in the 19 car and go out there. Like, I think he kind of was the Band-Aid that we weren't like, oh my God, look how bad they are when we go to this kind of track, because he was always up there no matter what track you went to. But now that you don't have him, you kind of see some of the weaknesses a little more.
Yeah, he kept them steady.
Yeah. Lap 26, Geier's all the way up to 5th. Dude was on a mission. And then a shock to me, So on lap 31, Sammy Smith made it up to second, passing Byron. Where was Byron? What happened to Byron? What was the setup in that car? Like, I was like, Byron's running Phoenix in the JRM car. Like, I don't want to say he's gonna win, but like, I thought Allgaier would win still, but I didn't expect him to be such an afterthought in that race.
Right. Yeah, and I'll go ahead and put this in there. I thought the same thing. I was like, he's going to go blow the doors off everybody. And then I think after seeing the results from the race, it's just kind of like, I mean, the O'Reilly cars and the Cup cars are so different.
Yeah.
And so when you only race like the one-offs,
Yeah.
it shows the competitiveness of the O'Reilly series that these guys can't just get in any equipment every now and then
Yeah.
and hold their own anymore. Like you said, Jesse Love, he's had a great start to the season. Justin Allgaier owns that track, so he's going to be tough. Yeah, he's stepping out there with some good competitors.
Yeah. And I think, too, some of it is going to come down to tracks. So, like, I feel like if you would have put Byron in at, like, let's say Charlotte or Vegas or a mile and a half, like a traditional trial of a mile and a half, he probably would have done a lot better. Now, I mean, I understand they want to go down and fill the races that they can and do it. It just, I was like, I kind of had the same thoughts you were saying of like the gap has been bridged now, and especially with the car difference, like you can't just go down there and be like, I'm going to show these guys what's up anymore.
Right. Yeah. I think they want it to be kind of like a help, like an assistant, like a to help them prepare for Sunday race, and that didn't happen this past week. We'll get into that in a few minutes.
Yeah. Sammy Smith ran really good. Kind of surprised me, but then when you go back and think about the tracks he's really good at with JRM, that makes sense. Ray, by lap 33, had fallen back to the backside of the top 10, got passed by Jeff Burton, but still to this point, Jesse Love had led the entirety of the race. And with that, RCR has now led over 200 laps this season, and no other team has led more than 75 laps this season in the O'Reilly series.
Wow. Big step.
Yeah. By lap 40, Sammy Smith caught Jesse Love when they kind of got dealing with lap traffic heavy. Took him a couple laps, but he passed him by lap 42. And then lap 45, Sammy Smith wins stage 1, followed by Jesse Love, Carson Quatfull, Justin Allgaier, and William Byron. So I know we say he was an afterthought, but like he hung around for a little bit, but like you hold a Cup guy to a different standard.
Oh, yeah.
Like running the back half of the top 10 in the O'Reilly series, you're like, okay, man.
Yeah. Right.
They weren't playing Sabrina Carpenter through his earpiece in that race. He wasn't locked in. Let's see. So when they fire back off in stage 2, then Quatfull lead the field to green. Love clears by turn 1. Byron challenges for second, but he's unable to pass Quatfull, and then he also loses another spot to Allgaier. Then about 20 laps later, lap 74, Jesse Love's already stretched the lead out to 2.5 seconds over Quatfull. And then Sam Mayer, who started in the rear for unapproved adjustments, had already rallied up to 10th at that point. So those Haas cars are very, very very much benefiting from their new Chevy alliance this year, because they've been up there. And then still, Jesse Love's led most of the laps. And at this point, he's led 55 laps in this race, which is more than his previous 4 starts combined in Phoenix. So that was just, he was putting on a show for a while.
Shows his progression.
Yeah. Then he wins stage 2, followed by Carson Quatfull, William Byron, Justin Allgaier, and Brent Cruz, the 17-year-old. I mean, I'm almost 10 years older than this guy. And I'm sitting here just doing a podcast for the love of the game, and he's in Joe Gibbs racing equipment. Like, where did my life go wrong, Daniel? You know?
And I'm not going to say how much older I am. I think I'm double his age. Damn.
Yeah. I mean, close, right?
Do you know when his 18th birthday is?
Let me Google it. Because
I turn 35 next month.
I turn 26 next month.
Yeah, we got close birthdays.
Yeah. I
just remembered that.
Let's see.
Well, we're going to have to get you to Central Florida then.
Hey, I'm not against it.
Yeah.
I want to say his birthday, if this will load, March 30th. So he's got a couple more weeks. Yeah. So he's not really going to miss too many more weeks. So, yeah. So at this point, after stage 2, all lead lap cars pit. Jesse Love wins the race off pit road, followed by Taylor Gray and Carson Kvapil. And Allgaier has a lengthy pit stop for an issue on the right rear, and he drops from 4th to 20th.
Bad time to have that happen, but probably best driver to have it happen too.
Yeah, I was about to say he feels, especially on tracks where you just like a Vegas, like there, like where you think of Allgaier. If there's somebody to drop to the back and make it really interesting, I mean, you just fuel his desire to win even more at that point, and it's just so fun to watch. So on the restart, Love clears Taylor Gray again before even getting into one. That car fired off like a rocket ship every time. And then 14 laps into that run, Taylor Gray's already faded back to 6th, getting passed by Sheldon Creed, Sam Mayer, and William Byron. Jesse Love still leading. And at this point, he's led 100 laps, which is more than RCR as a team has led in the past 17 Phoenix races in the O'Reilly series. Yeah. I mean, feel bad for the guy that he didn't win, honestly, in a way, like dominating that race so much. Yeah. But then on the flip side, you think about if Allgaier was given the same starting position, if he didn't have troubles, like that's the beauty of racing. It's like,
absolutely. We saw that in the Cup Series too, didn't we?
Yeah. Oh, yep. Oh boy, did we.
Yeah.
At lap 124, Kvapil has begun to close in on Jesse Love, only half a second behind him, battling for the lead. By lap 133, he's starting to run too wide and race him for the lead. 5 laps later, lap 138, he clears, lap 147. So about 10, 15 laps after he cleared for the lead, he's already 2 seconds out, checked down. And then Sheldon Creed and Sam Mayer start closing in for second on Jesse Love. Creed got past him for second before the green flag pit cycle started. And then lap 157, Sheldon Creed now leads by 2 seconds over Kvapil after the whole pit cycle has been completed. But 6 laps later, Kvapil's already cut the lead down to under a second. Under a second. And then Sam Mayer's still at 3rd, Jesse Love's 4th, and Jeremy Clements was 5th. That's another guy that is he has a technical alliance with Haas. So they're doing good, and they're towing him along with them.
Yeah.
Lap 165. This was the most interesting because this race did not have cautions, like hardly at all. Alfredo spun LeVar Scott coming off of turn 4, and LeVar Scott was a lap down. He kind of was still in the racing line, but like Alfredo was trying to stay in the line that he's been running, run low, like kind of hug the paint, come up. Well, LeVar Scott's there. He just hooked him. Just maybe it was late enough in the race. He didn't want to lift. He felt like LeVar was just all up in his way. But I'm like, you could have just passed him in the next turn and probably not got past. But I'm not a race car driver. What do I know? And then at this point, Rajah got the free pass. And this was the first oval that he's ran Jordan Anderson. Because he ran COTA with Jordan Anderson, I believe. Yeah. Don't hold me to that, everybody.
I don't remember.
I feel like
is it the 32 car?
Yeah. No. He didn't. It was Kvapil ran the 91 for DGM. So I think Rajah was still in the 88 at COTA.
Okay.
We're going to roll with that, I think.
Maybe.
We'll see. But he got the free pass. So late in the race, getting the free pass, it's always interesting to see what they can do and make out of their day, which he ended up making a really good day out of.
Yeah.
Lap 172, Sheldon Creed is your leader with Carson Kvapil on the outside on the restart. Sheldon Creed spins his tires, and then Sam Mayer shoots the middle, puts Kvapil out wide, boxes him out. He has to run the high line. He drops back. Creed does recover and keep the lead, but Sam Mayer ends up getting second. And then Jesse Love is battling Carson Kvapil for 3rd at that point. And at this point, I really kind of thought Kvapil was going to win, because Allgaier hadn't really rallied all the way back up yet. And then Jesse Love kind of felt like if he got in dirty air, the car was just way different. And I was like, man, they're like, Kvapil's finally going to do it, because he feels like, okay, Creed's won. This is a lot less dramatic of how close he's came at times. But like, he kind of feels like the next guy that's just knocking on the door to win.
It could take a while, possibly.
Yeah. Lap 174, Brandon Jones gets spun by Sammy Smith battling for 9th, which ended up causing a multi-car accident that took out William Sawalich, Dean Thompson, Lane Perkins, Taylor Gray, and William Byron. And also, this wreck really just ruined my day because I put a $1 down on like a better or worse parlay. And I swear to you, the only reason I didn't win it is because Sawalich and Gray got caught up in the wreck. They were the only two I missed on. I was like,
of course.
Well, I only lost $1, but man, that $100 looked real good there for a minute.
Yeah.
And then on what ends up being the final restart of the race, lap 186, Mayer leads on the inside with Creed on the outside. Mayer goes high in turn 2, which allows Quapfel and Jesse Love to get alongside, and Sheldon Creed ends up clearing for the lead. Quapfel touches Sam Mayer entering 4. They both kind of go high, and then that just parts the sea for Allgaier. And then at that point, you were like, okay, he's in 3rd. He's not too wide racing with anybody. Like, we could probably put some money on the 7 car. Jesse Love retakes the lead on lap 188 from Creed because Creed had bounced into a wall the lap before. And then Allgaier gets to 2nd. Lap 190, Allgaier clears for the lead. And then Jesse Love was able to keep it close. And the one thing he had on the whole field was how deep he could dive into turn 3 every time, still rotate the corner and make it off. And I mean, he got like a bumper, like just so close. I thought he was going to move Allgaier out of the way, but he couldn't get to him, thankfully. And Allgaier just kind of ran away with it there. Managed the gap and won. So your top 10 ended up being Justin Allgaier, who won, and then Jesse Love, Carson Quapfel, Sheldon Creed, Sam Mayer, Sammy Smith, Jeb Burton, Rajah Caruth, Corey Day, and Anthony Alfredo. Corey Day to have a quiet day.
Very quiet.
Ruffled 0 feathers. Not make enemies, and finish in the top 10 is a step in the right direction. And then Rajah getting a top 10 in Jordan Anderson equipment. Not that Jordan Anderson has terrible cars, but I feared that him having more races to cover than Quapfel and go into a different team was going to hurt him more. And so far, it doesn't look too bad.
Working out so far.
Yeah. So all Chevy top 10, which...
Wow, that's crazy.
Well, so a lot of Ford teams left or changed to Chevy. So like, I think there's 2 Fords and like 4 Toyotas. And so that's 6 cars. So then it's like 30 Chevys every week now.
Wow. Still amazing not to get any other manufacturer in there though. Yeah. Not going to see that in the Cup Series for a while.
Not at all.
I'm pissed at Chevy right now.
Well, my thing was, I was like, they're redesigning the car. We're gonna get a leg up. What did they do to the car?
Lost a leg.
Yeah, Lieutenant Dan.
Typical parlay, always losing a leg.
Yeah. So I think that'll segue us good into Cup.
I think it will. I'll take over for Cup. Well, so one of the bright spots to me as a fan watching the Cup Series race was the tire wear. I love seeing the issues with the tires. We haven't had a good Phoenix race in some time. Yeah. And I thought the storylines were very compelling on Sunday. And we learned this through practice. We already saw that there would be tire issues. So Brad Keselowski had to go to the rear in a backup car. And then Hocevar also started at the rear for unapproved adjustments, as well as Zane Smith. He would have to serve a drive-through penalty after the green flag.
Which I think, I don't know, I forgot. I don't know what was different with his penalty that he had to serve the stop and go. Like, they took the green flag, and then lap 1, he had to pit.
Had to bring that puppy dog down pit road.
Yeah, but always, well, that was going to sound really bad. Let me think of a better way to say it. It is a good spectacle when they put Carson Hocevar in the back, and you know he's had speed that weekend.
True. Yeah, that's true.
I almost really just made that sound bad. And I was like, it's always a good thing when they put Carson Hocevar in the back. I like the guy.
Well, Joey Logano won the pole. So Penske, I think they had both poles, like IndyCar and Cup Series.
Yeah, Malukas won the pole for IndyCar and then Logano for,
Now, luckily, Larson started second. So, let me go ahead and say, because everybody expects me to be the Hendrick guy, which I am, but I'm wearing my Blaney shirt tonight. So
my guy
Blake is repping our Hendrick, our gear tonight.
Yeah, we got the throwback shirt.
So glad to see us on the front row finally. But Logano cleared pretty early for the lead as soon as they took the green flag.
Yeah.
His teammate Austin Cindric was right behind him, passing Larson, or at least beginning the battle for second. But by lap 13, Penske was in control. They were running 1, 2, 3 with Logano, Cindric, and Blaney. But by lap 28, Blaney had cut Logano's lead down to 0.6 seconds, and he began to challenge for the lead. Last year, Joey was the best defender, and Blaney was the best passer. So we saw a little defense and offense here. Two of the best to do it.
And teammates.
Yeah, right? Love seeing that. Lap 47, though, Blaney clears Logano for the lead. And lap 52, Larson's already faded all the way back to 13th. And he's complaining of lack of grip. Typical Hendrick Motorsports weekend for us in 2026.
Yeah.
Lap 60, the stage ends with a Ryan Blaney win. He won stage 1, followed by Bell, Logano, Reddick, and Hamlin. And this was Blaney's 6th stage win at Phoenix. So that's the most of any track for Blaney.
Okay, be honest with me. At this point of the race, were you like, Reddick got a top 5 in this stage? Oh my God.
Dude, yeah. Absolutely. And not even this early, like even late in the race, my wife was like, oh, there he is again. He's going to figure it out somehow. It's like he's got something going for him right now that nobody else can touch. But he seems like this is their breakout season.
Yeah.
No doubt. And he's going to be in contention a lot.
Yeah. And what I find funny to me, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, this is a fully Blake opinion. This is not, I don't think, supported by Justin. I don't know. I haven't talked to him about this yet. But the double standard of let's all face it, he backed into 2 of those wins at Atlanta and Daytona.
Yeah.
And when Bowman backed into all of his wins, Toyota, he gets beat up by his teammates every week. He backed into them. They're not legitimate. A Toyota driver backs into 2 wins. Now, granted, he did dominate Coda and just shut everybody up, which was good for him. True. And for you to save the Gordon streak. But I'm like, what's the double standard here, guys? Like, it's cool when he does it.
Right. No, you got a point there. But yeah, that he's just got something going for him.
He's got the luck this year, and he's definitely got the speed to be in contention, because ultimately a win's a win. And to me, you can't discredit anybody if they backed into a win, quote unquote, because they were running 2nd or 3rd at the time and they were close. Like, you still have to be in a good position. It's not like when Logano stayed out till the 7th overtime and somehow magically had enough gas.
Still had gas.
Yeah. Like, somebody wrecked. You were right there anyway. You won. Congratulations.
I think Logano went to Taco Bell that week. He had so much gas. It was unbelievable.
That was ridiculous.
Anywho, there's some things, I've learned through talking with you so much, some things we will never let go.
No, I will hold NASCAR grudges to the grave.
Yes, sir. I love that about you too.
And we shared a lot of them, I feel like, too.
Oh, yeah. No doubt. Lap 65, they're doing pit stops. Bell wins the race off of pit road, followed by Logano and Blaney and Larson. Sorry, no, Logano and Blaney. But Larson has a lengthy pit stop here for adjustments. And then he's penalized for too fast exiting pit road.
I mean, if it's not bad enough already, let's just speed off of pit road. Why are we speeding off of pit road? Like, you just fix your car. You're probably not even racing anybody out. Yeah. Like, just go.
There's no need.
Yeah.
It's, what do they call that in tennis? An unforced error.
Yeah.
It's an unforced error. So making life more difficult after starting 2nd.
Yeah. I mean, dude, you have the track position. We all know that a lot of times with next-gen cars, if you can have the clean air or at least be towards the front, your car is going to drive better. The second that you ruin it and you get back in the pack, if you thought your car didn't drive good in the front, good luck, brother.
Yeah, exactly. Well, lap 71, on the restart, Bun Logano lead the field to green, and Logano clears for the lead on the backstretch before Bell retakes the lead on lap 72. And then lap 74, and he passes Logano to get back to 2nd place. Now, 11 laps later, Bell's grown his lead now over Blaney to 1.3 seconds, and Larson has made no progress at this point. He's still running 25th. On lap 93, Kyle Busch blows a tire. He hits the wall in turn 2, and then on lap 94, there's a caution for SVG spinning in turn 4 with a flat tire. So we start to see some tire issues very clearly are going to be an issue all day long.
I think RCR got hit the worst with it.
Yeah, they did. Austin Dillon had one late, right?
And Austin Hill.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Where was he running? Because I don't remember that one.
He was 24th.
That makes sense.
He blew it's somewhere down in there, but I think he blew the right rear. And it was like perfect timing that he was able to just get down on pit road, because they were like, are we going to see a caution?
Oh,
are we going
Yeah. It's when we had like a string of them, right?
Yeah.
And several of them made it pit road, and eventually someone wasn't going to.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, anyway, when SVG spun, he was running 13th. So still holding his own on the ovals.
Yeah.
And then on lap 99, after pit stops under caution, Blaney comes back down pit road to tighten the left front wheel. Didn't like the feeling that he had. But at lap 103, after the restart, Suarez gets spun after contact with Ryan Preece running 15th. And then Josh Berry and Chase Elliott pick up minor damage from the accident, which, as two Chase sexuals or Chase Elliott fans, I'm sorry, I had to say that, but
Oh, you're
I'm not.
good.
I'm not.
I do not identify with that part of the
Yeah, dude.
fan group.
If y'all want to go listen to my pod, you'll know I am not a Chase sexual right now. So, anywho, yeah, he was already having a bad day. This doesn't help it at all. Then lap
Dude,
110.
if there was a wreck, that 9 car was a magnet.
Yes.
20 streak gone week 4. Thank God we have a good point system because he's still
Yeah.
up there.
He is. I know. But yeah, it's kind of been fun watching that top 20 streak the past few years. Now it's over.
Hey, flip side of the
Not a bad
coin,
thing, though.
bright side, we got that done early. We don't
Yeah,
have
it's not a
to
bad thing.
because I feel like sometimes, and we'll go off on a little Chase and Hendrick rant here. I feel like
Yeah, go ahead.
sometimes when he has that top 20 streak, Alan calls the race different because he's like, dude, we got to keep it. We got to stay consistent. We have top 20 streak, dude. Now it's
Right.
gone. It's out the window. You're not worried about that. Now,
Yeah.
if you're having a borderline day, take a big risk. Take a swing. Try to. Chase called himself down pit road at Coda. Alan
Yeah.
definitely wasn't going to do it. We all know if you listen to me on a podcast with Daniel, or you listen to the Checker Chat every week, you will know I do not like Alan Gustafson at all
ain't crazy
as
about the guy.
Chase's crew chief.
Yeah.
Great guy, great historic crew chief. Not it in the next gen era on that 9 car. Him and
No.
Chase just don't seem to see eye to eye in some scenarios.
Yeah.
But maybe it's a good thing we get the top 20 streak just done and over with. We don't have to worry about it this year.
No, I agree. And to be honest, I'm not super confident that he can restart it this week in Vegas. But we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
So, lap 110, after the restart, Logano clears Bell off of turn 2 ahead of Briscoe and Reddick. So he's ahead of some Toyotas now, giving him some heat. Lap 120. Now, Blaney, who fell back to 29th after pitting a second time, he decides to retighten the wheel. He's already raced back up into 12th. So that's 17 spots in a 10-lap span.
Yeah. That was
Ryan
the point
Blaney
of
was
the
doing-
race. Yeah. That's the point of the race where I was like, that 12 car is a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, we see Logano out front, kind of controlling the race, but we see his teammate probably in some better equipment coming. Well, lap 132, Briscoe blows a right front tire from third, and he hits the wall pretty hard in turn 4. This, I think it ended his day,
Yeah.
didn't it? Yeah, it's been the story of his season so far.
Did you hear so last week at Coda, he had the incident and he was like, where's the DVP area? I don't know. Like, can you walk me through how to get there? And his crew
Yeah.
chief's like, read the effing map. Like, what are you
Yeah.
doing? And so he's coming down pit road. He knows his day's over. And he's like, don't worry, guys. I read the map this week. I know where the DVP area is. I was like, at
Yeah.
least he's still somewhat in a good mood after that, because I know I wouldn't have been.
Right. I don't know how he had some positivity in him, but
I mean, dude is
he's a good guy.
Yeah, and dude is buried in points right now.
Yes, he is. Well, let's see. Lap 134, more pit stops, and Logano gets off pit road first. But still, Blaney's team hasn't figured out how to tighten the wheel, so he stops in his teammate Joey Logano's box and get them to tighten his left rear wheel. And then 20-some laps later, lap 157, Noah Gregson blows his right front tire from a brake failure, and under caution, so Byron, McDowell, and Zilich all blow tires from the debris on the track, and then SVG was awarded the free pass. Lap 168, Keselowski and Preece. Now we got 2 RFK drivers leading the field to green because they stayed out under caution, but they begin to fall through the field, which allows Denny to get the lead, Denny Hamlin. And then lap 174, Christopher Bell passes his JGR teammate for the lead in turn 2. And about 11 laps later, lap 185, Bell wins stage number 2, followed by Hamlin, Logano, Buescher, and Bubba. Any thoughts to recap stage 2?
If there was a guy that you were just not going to figure out how to get him off pit road in a competitive amount of time, it was Blaney, obviously. And so when I was watching the race, I didn't realize it was Gregson's like whole rotor that had exploded. I just thought he blew a tire. So then they're riding around under caution, and like like the 3 other guys start blowing tires. And I'm like, oh my, come on, Goodyear. I'm like, we had something good going. And then they showed Gregson's car getting towed back and it had no rotor, no caliper. And they showed the replay. You could see stuff flying everywhere. And I was like, no, we're good. Sorry, Goodyear. So sorry. I was ready to lose it, but I thought Bell was going to be an issue at that point, getting some track position.
Yeah.
Which would have been, I mean, I don't like the guy, don't get me wrong, but it would have been fitting after all of the just heartbreak that he's had at Phoenix.
He's had a ton there. Well, they get back to racing in the third stage, and then lap 210, Ryan Preece spins after contact with Zilich in the dog leg. So Zilich got loose, potentially from Stenhouse or behind Stenhouse.
Yeah, because they were like in the dog leg part. Preece was low, and you just see Zilich get sideways and correct into Preece, saved Zilich's car, but wrecked Preece. I mean, he didn't really pick up that much damage. He spun, but I couldn't really tell, find a good enough angle to be like, yeah, Ricky wrecked him, or he just lost it.
Ricky.
Yeah, Ricky Spinhouse. Yeah.
One of my favorite nicknames of all time.
It's a good one.
Well, lap 217, they're back on a restart, and this is when Logano wrecks Chastain from behind. And that came at a weird spot on the track again.
Yeah.
In the dog leg. So this triggered a huge incident. This collected Austin Cindric, Bubba Wallace, and Anthony Alfredo, with Riley Herbst and Zane Smith picking up some minor damage, trying to avoid the accident. This was to me, this was when the race changed the most. And at this point, I was like, this is Bell's race to lose. It was either him or Logano all day.
And, dude, in that wreck, I had never thought I would see a car almost flip at Phoenix like Alfredo's. And then the damage to Cindric's car, I was like, dude, that, it didn't look that hard at first. But when they started showing replays, I was like, oh, my God.
Yeah,
and they just restarted.
Like you said, at Phoenix, it was surprising. Yeah, and on a restart, too. Exactly. Alfredo, though, that 48 car keeps taking hits, doesn't it?
Yeah.
No matter who's in it.
That thing looks cursed this year.
It is, I think. Well, lap 228, Elliott and Herbst make contact around first on the backstretch, and this causes Herbst to spin, but no caution was thrown. And then lap 245, Busch blows a right front tire running around 25th, but he's able to make it to pit road. And then again, the next lap, SVG spins. This time, we get a caution.
It's just such a coincidence that 2 times in the same race, Busch blows a tire, hits the wall, Busch blows a tire, limps it to pit road. Like, nah, we're good. SVG's fun. SVG's fun. Everybody, yell flag, yell flag, yell flag. That's what's going through Kyle Busch's mind.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, come on now, dude. 1 lap later, and now we're going to... He didn't even hit anything. Yeah. Come on, man.
No. Yeah, it's pretty wild. Well, let's see. Lap 254. Logano tries to self-clear himself, and this causes another huge accident. This is the one that took him out, isn't it?
Yeah, big time.
Logano hit the wall pretty hard again, another hard hit at Phoenix, but this also collected Austin Dillon, Daniel Suarez, Chase Elliott, AJ Allmendinger, Josh Berry, and SVG.
And I think Logano and Berry were the only ones that this ended their day.
Yeah.
I mean, it might as well have ended Suarez and Elliott's day. Just
right. Yeah.
Put them out of their misery.
I can't lie, though. I was so glad to see that 22.
Absolutely junked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a beautiful sight every single time I see it.
Yeah.
After a lap of side-by-side racing on lap 265, Christopher Bell clears his teammate Ty Gibbs for the lead. Looked like Ty was maybe going to be a threat there. And then lap 274, Blaney's coming, and he clears Larson to move back into third place. 8 laps later, lap 282, Blaney passes Gibbs for second, but he's 2.8 seconds behind Bell for the lead. And felt like he was going to have to turn some incredible laps to get there.
Yeah.
But lap 286, Austin Hill has a right rear tire go down. He's running around 24th. He makes it to pit road, but then a lap later, Austin Dillon blows a right rear tire. He was running 9th, and so that hurt his day. This time the caution comes out. Lap 294, after the restart, Nemechek, Ty Dillon, Ricky Stenhouse, and Zane Smith wreck, and Ty Gibbs was declared the leader at that moment. So then lap 301, Ty Gibbs and Kyle Larson lead the field to green, but Larson gets loose in turn 1. This allows Blaney to get into second place, and 2 laps later, Blaney clears Gibbs for the lead, and he sails off in a sunset and goes on to win.
That was all she wrote.
Yep. So your top 10 was Ryan Blaney, Christopher Bell, Kyle Larson 3rd, Ty Gibbs, back-to-back 4th place finishes, Denny Hamlin 5th, Bubba Wallace 6th, William Byron 7th, Tyler Reddick 8th, still hasn't finished worse than 8th, I guess.
Yeah.
McDowell was 9th, and Eric Jones, big top 10 for him. And that was our Cup race from Phoenix.
So Hendrick-wise, give us a little snippet, give us a little teaser to go so we can get people to go listen to your episode. But Larson, how did you, like, when he was restarting front row, final restart, were you like, hey, this feels like a Larson race where he has a chance? Or were you kind of like, let's just salvage what we can get and go on home?
I was hopeful, obviously, but I'm also very partial to Blaney. I call him our honorary Hendrick driver because of his assist getting Bowman into the playoffs last year by winning that Daytona race. So I really was thinking Blaney was the guy that was going to get it done if anybody was.
Yeah.
Because to be honest, I felt pretty good about the spot that Ty Gibbs was in too. So I just hadn't seen enough from Larson all day to make me think he's going to be able to make it happen. I was just hopeful though.
Yeah.
So and if you want a snippet from my pod this week, I'm pissed right now. Chevrolet looked awful. Hendrick Motorsports especially. Obviously, we're the flagship program in the manufacturer, and we're just doesn't seem like we can do anything right. We're way behind everybody else. To be honest, I'm pretty impressed by what Toyota's done this year.
Oh, yeah.
They are probably running the best, and they're obviously getting results. But even as bad as we've been, Larson's still figuring out a way to get some results. So even with his rough day, he was able to somehow salvage a 3rd place finish.
Yeah.
And this will be a key race later on in the season. This is still the lead up to the finale. So, yeah, it's not the finale anymore, but it's the lead up to the finale. And we're going to have to turn things around quite a bit if we want to be in position going into the finale.
Yeah. Looking at the schedule, it's favorable for Hendrick towards the end of the chase if they can figure some equipment stuff out and get setups, whatever. Because you go, let's see, Bristol, Kansas, Vegas, Charlotte, Phoenix, Talladega, Martinsville, Miami.
Phoenix is not the lead up, but it's still right there at the home stretch.
It's like the 4th to last race. Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be key. And to be honest, we're not going to be feeling good after what we just saw this past week, though.
No. Listening to my take on Larson, how did you feel about what I've said so far this year of, like, with this style of points, maybe he needs to change a little bit and just salvage days rather than screw it, we're winning or we're going home? Because it worked in that last system flawlessly for him.
Yeah, it did. And that's more his style. That's why he got so much success so early. I mean, he's been with us, 5 or 6 years now. He's got 2 championships so for it. He's got like 26 wins, I think, with us.
I mean, so year 1 and wins or 11 wins and a championship.
Yeah, right off the bat. And so, yeah, his style definitely fits that format where you win or you die trying.
Yeah.
But to be honest, this race was kind of going in the wrong direction for him, and he still was able to salvage a 3rd place finish. So this was kind of what I needed to see from him. And I can say the same about Coda last week. Never felt like he was ever going to win that race. There were only 2 really dominant cars. It was Reddick was going to win or SVG was going to figure out a way to beat him.
Yeah.
But he still was able to get a 6th place finish in Coda. So that's, like, to Larson's standards, not great, but it's good point, though. Good points, Dave. Yeah.
Because now looking at points, obviously Reddick is still 60 points up on 2nd, which is Blaney. I mean, it's going to take a minute to reel that gap in. Bubba's hanging in there in 3rd. I think last week I said I was about ready to, which I wasn't wrong. I said he definitely wasn't going to be top 2 anymore after Phoenix. But he impressed me how he ran at Phoenix. That's not historically been a good track for him.
Yeah, he finished 6th.
Chase still somehow is 4th in points. SVG is 5th in points.
That's wild.
Like, I know Justin jokes about it, but, like, we're kind of screwed if SVG starts figuring ovals out and can still do road courses good.
No, for real. And it shows how skilled he is behind that wheel. He's already figuring it out, I'm afraid.
A couple of I'll give you a couple more notable kind of randoms in the chase or right around the chase. Michael McDowell's 8th in points. So he's your 3rd best Chevy in points right now, so it goes Chase Elliott with Hendrick, SVG with Trackhouse, and then McDowell with Spire. You don't have Hendrick up top like normal, just dominating the Chevys, because Larson's 10th, Byron's 11th. AJ Allmendinger is 13th in points. Hocevar is 14th. Ty Gibbs is 15th, so he's still in the chase. Suarez is 17th. Like, he's still hanging right there.
Yeah.
And Ty Dillon's in 21st. Is 21st good? No. It's Ty Dillon. How is he still
pretty
hanging?
Great for Ty Dillon.
Yeah. And then
21st is incredible.
the people that are just buried in the points that they just need to start finishing races and getting a little momentum. Illich is 34th.
Mm-hmm.
Custer's 35th. Briscoe's 33rd.
Yeah.
Barry's 31st. Cindric's 30th. And then Chastain's 3rd. So, I mean, those are people that, like, I do greatly prefer this style of racing, the points, everything. But you're going to have to get a sample size before you start overreacting on people because, like, the good thing for Reddick is he has a cushion. He could go out and wreck lap 1 of Phoenix and he would still be your points, or I meant Vegas, and then he would still be your points leader leaving Vegas unless somebody got max points because it's 55 to win. I think max points is sitting around 70 right now. So you'd have to do the perfect day to even pass him right now and finish dead last.
Yeah.
But anything else you wanna touch on with Phoenix, or are you ready to go on to Vegas?
We can move on to Vegas.
All right. So your previous next gen winners for Vegas. In 2022, you had Bowman win in the spring and Logano win in the fall. In 2023, you had Byron win in the spring and Larson win in the fall. 2024, you had Larson win in the spring, Logano win in the fall. 2025, you had Barry win in the spring and you had Hamlin win in the fall. So, Hendrick.
So we've won 4 of the last 8 races, all in the next gen car, but we haven't won any of the last 3.
You would think this would be somewhere that they can turn it around, where they can get their feet back under them. Because if you look at the race that Denny won last fall, Byron arguably could have won that race if it wasn't for the giant miscommunication of pit road with Ty Dillon.
Yeah. I still have the utmost confidence in our drivers. It's the new body, and I think we're going to find out a lot this week, though. We'll learn a lot this week at Vegas.
Yeah, because we're finally getting to, like, Hendrick territory, like a mile and a half, traditional, like
the traditional NASCAR track, pretty much. Yeah.
Where the old heads and the grandpas yelling at the clouds say we're finally actually racing.
I will say, though, coming out of Phoenix, and I said this on my pod, these first 4 weeks, I think, have been tremendous for NASCAR.
Oh, 100%.
It's been unbelievable from all 3 series, from top to bottom. Really good racing, like the best start to a month, to a season that you could have, probably. Yeah. Like, if there are any casuals that come out of Daytona and they want to keep watching, they've been, I mean, we've had a great product so far.
Yeah, and this was the perfect season to start with this just momentum and heat and just good races, because I felt like going into the year, you could kind of tell on social media and other stuff that NASCAR was kind of hitting a rise again, kind of, on an uptick. Yeah. And then, do I love Toyota? No. Am I a big 2311 guy? Not really. But if I take my fan hat off and I put my podcasting hat on, I love 2311. I love what they do for the sport. They bring new eyes. I mean, like Justin, I know, has talked about on the podcast, like complex sneakers, like all of these magazines, all of these outlets of social media interviewed Reddick after the 500, have been making posts, have Sports Center. They're like, three-peat for MJ again, and it's in NASCAR, and you're like, wow, like, we're getting talked about again. And it's like I had a guy that I went to high school with message me on Facebook one day, and he saw where I'd posted about, like, I can't remember if it was pics or the podcast or something, but he was like, hey, I'm like kind of trying to get into NASCAR this year. I started watching, and I like it. Daytona was good. Atlanta kind of hooked me. Like, and I think I like 2311. I think I like, Reddick, like, not trying to just get on the bandwagon, but I think I like how he carries himself and everything. And I was like, no, like that's a solid pick.
Yeah.
And like, we talked about it, and I was like, look, unbiased, not a fan as long as I have been. Like, let me just take all my biases out. 2311 is really good for the new age fan, for the new people getting in, because it's not historical, it's not traditional, it's not, I mean, you go to their shop and you compare it to all the other team shops, and it's just so modern and it's different.
Yeah, right. Yep, NASCAR has found their fastball, and it's working right now. Now, eventually, we're going to have a dud of a race, but hopefully that's this week when Hendrick Motorsports dominates and we finish 1 through 4. So, got sweet Vegas.
1 through 4 with Allgaier filling in would be crazy.
Yeah, it's not happening. Like I said, I'm not super confident in a Chase top 20 this week. So,
Yeah, it feels like for mile and a halves, for some reason Vegas has just never worked for him, and I'm like, they're all the same. Like, I know they're
right.
not the
Yeah.
exact same, but I'm like, they're all the same.
You think you would have something by now at this point in your career, though.
Yeah.
So, you want to talk some paint schemes?
Yeah, we'll do paint schemes and picks, and we'll get it rolling. So
Heck yeah.
I'll go ahead. I'll start it off. So for paint schemes for this week, my favorite, I'm going to go with Carson Hocevar's Chili's car. I personally feel that the OG, the white Chili's car, is the superior one. I do
Okay.
like the Intimidante, as people have called it online.
Yeah.
It
yeah.
is a good looking car, but
Yeah.
something about the white one really just, it stuck with me. And this one, they added like, I think it was like, I don't know if it looks like rhinestones. That's the word I was
Yeah.
looking for Vegas. So
Yeah. I
hard to
love
go
that.
against it. Yeah. You want to hit us with your favorite?
Yeah, I considered the 77 car because of those rhinestones being added to it, but I ultimately landed on the Stenhouse number 47 NASCAR.
Yeah.
Not so much for the orange and blue. I hate those colors together, but it's the NOS brand. It looks great on a race car, and I think they added some chrome numbers to the side, which I'm a sucker for chrome numbers. So I think that one goes hard, and it's my favorite scheme this week.
It's funny. And now looking at both of our picks side by side, we had the same mindset because Stenhouse was my second pick, my number 2. So my least favorite was SVG Superfile car. It was an upgrade from the Daytona 500 Superfile car, but this one's so busy that I cannot tell you what's going on. I might like it when I see it on track.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe, but to look at the picture of it, I'm like, what is going on? This is a lot.
I thought the same exact thing. So, yeah, I was like, what the hell? It didn't take my least favorite, but it was super close.
Yeah.
Heavy consideration. I actually went with John Hunter Nemechek's number 42 car. I don't even know it's like a vacuum sponsor, but it's just all gray and it has like a green line across the side of it, which I just think it looks terrible. It's not cute at all.
Yeah, it's Tri-State Vacuum and Rental.
Whatever that is.
And then, like gold number trim, just one green thick line down the side. It's one of the cars of all time.
Yeah, it doesn't do it for me.
Yeah. All right. So
least favorite for sure.
Yeah. So for picks this week, we're gonna adapt a little bit, and we're gonna do it in the style of zip it up, and we're gonna give you an outright O'Reilly's pick. We'll give you a Hendrick winner, a non-Hendrick winner, and a long shot winner. So I will start us off with the picks that Justin has submitted for me to reveal to you guys. So for the O'Reilly's race, he picked Rajah. While I don't think that's a bad pick, I honestly kind of wonder if he realized that this was a 32 or an 88 week.
Yeah, he might not have.
His Hendrick winner for Cup, he picked Larson. Non-Hendrick was Briscoe, and his long shot was Ryan Preece.
Solid picks.
Yeah.
For sure. I got a few common. Well, one common. I'll go ahead and give you mine, I think. So my O'Reilly's winner is the guy that will be driving the 88. Kyle Larson, obviously, is one of his best tracks. And so I'm sticking with him on Sunday as well, picking him as the Hendrick winner. I just have the most, if I had to pick one from our camp, I'm most confident in him getting it done right now.
Yeah.
Non-Hendrick winner, I'm going to go with Christopher Bell. He's, 2 weeks ago at COTA, he finished third. Last week at Phoenix, he finished second. So if the trend continues, he'll probably be on par to win this race. He dominated at Phoenix, and I know that sting and that hurt sits with him, but he's probably going to use that as fuel to go out and actually go get the result this week. So I'd be scared of that 20 car, I think.
And go into a track that he historically is a lot better at than Phoenix.
Yeah. Right. My long shot, I'm going to go with Bubba Wallace, and that's just because I've been impressed with Toyotas. Las Vegas is a place that you need speed, and we've seen when Bubba has good speed in his car, he can usually hold his own. I don't think it would surprise me. And 2311 has won 75% of the races already.
Yeah.
I feel like Bubba can tap into that at some point this year and surprise us, maybe this week.
Yeah. Not a bad pick at all. So my picks, I got one on here that I'm just dying for your reaction for, and I'll save that one for last. So O'Reilly's, I went with Larson. As much as I wanted to pick Allgaier, I just genuinely do not think you're going to beat Larson in a JRM car at Vegas.
At one of his best tracks. Young money.
Yeah. Hendrick winner, I went Byron. Honestly, I was kind of torn Larson or Byron, but Byron shows up with the same speed usually that Larson shows up with, I feel like, at like Vegas in a mile and a half. And just the way that Vegas ended for him last year, I think he'll be a little more motivated. My non-Hendrick, I picked Denny Hamlin.
Yeah, I don't want to see that happen.
I don't want to see it happen, but I mean, it's hard to go against him, especially going to a mile and a half. Because historically, next gen, your mile and a half, the first two people that you go to and think of are it's Larson or it's Hamlin. That's where they run into each other the most. That's where the rivalry is. We might get it refired.
Yeah, maybe.
My long shot, the person with the longest odds of the whole entire field to win this race, Justin Allgaier.
Yeah. Do you know what his odds are?
I think it was like, I looked on NASCAR.com and it got updated today. I think it was like plus 6,000.
Okay, I was guessing it'd be like 4,000 to 6,000.
Yeah.
So that makes plenty of sense. And guess what though? Plus 6,000 were the exact odds that Josh Berry was last year when he won. The only reason I remember that is because I put $2 on him and I turned it into 120.
Yeah. Literally, my logic with Allgaier is very good track for him in O'Reilly's. And then when he got put in the car at Charlotte, and I was there for that 600 where he started it for Larson, dude had raw speed. Yeah, he's getting in the 48 car, not the 5 car. But look what he's been able to do getting in the junior motorsports cars with just raw speed to qualify into the 500s. Race is good until blocking this year. But like, I don't know. I kind of want to see it, honestly.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing him in that car. So, Blake, you're saying that we have a chance at a sweep this week?
Yeah, there's a chance. Long shot wise, I thought, what better way to pick a long shot than pick the literal longest shot? I don't know. I mean, it just feels like he could definitely get a top 10 in that car, and I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah, no, not at all. Chase might be 4th out of our 4 cars this week. I don't know how I'm going to respond to that. Yeah, that's going to be a rough pod next week, but luck has to turn at some point.
Yeah, well, we'll see. It's got to at some point. But is there anything else you want to touch on, or are we good to wrap there, you think?
I will say, though, since no one else is talking about it, if Hendrick does sweep this week, all of you listeners, I don't know, thank you for listening.
If Hendrick sweeps this weekend, you are all required to go listen to the next Zip It Up podcast.
Oh, we'll have a celebration like no other.
Yeah.
And then they got to come to Atlanta to see us, though.
Yeah.
Everybody got to come to Atlanta for the Zip It Up Checker Chat collab.
Yeah.
Live. We'll be on property.
Yeah.
Well,
wear Hendrick stuff if you want Daniel to like you.
Yeah. Or Blaney.
Yeah.
Or
honestly, Blaney. Hendrick or Blaney or Hocevar kind of gets you good with any of the three of us.
Yep. Or Chastain. Well, no. Y'all don't care for Ross, do you?
I don't think Justin likes him all that much. I don't know.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I don't know why I like him. I just do.
Let me look now that you said that, because I have our tier list thing that we made. Let me see where he put him.
Well, this is
no, he said it was high. Chastain's high on the list for him.
Okay, cool. Well, thanks for having me on, man.
No problem. Always a pleasure to have you.
The next time Justin needs to skip out of work, I'll be here. I'll be ready.
Yeah, you're one call away, ready and waiting. AT&T call to the bullpen.
You know it. And we will get you on our pod soon as well.
Yeah.
Get you over to co-host a little bit.
Hey, if Hendrick sweeps, I'll be there next week.
Bet.
We'll go ahead and lock that in.
Put that on my mama.
Yeah, but all right. If that's everything, we'll go ahead and wrap it here. I know this one's been a little bit longer, but it's always nice to have a fresh face, new perspective. Yeah, I was about to say, we'll probably end the Riverside recording and still talk.
Yeah, you get us talking Will, Taylor Swift, Georgia Bulldogs, we gonna talk.
Yeah, here's stickers on my water bottle for proof of that.
Yes,
Stetson Bennett and Taylor Swift.
Love it.
Oh, Lord. All right. So this has been the Checker Chat, everybody. How does Justin do this?
I never make it this far in y'all's episodes. I'm just kidding.
I was like, hold on a minute. Nah. You could just leave it playing in the background. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You can follow us on TikTok, Instagram. Don't worry about Twitter. That's not happening anytime soon. Let's see. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Audible. Can't forget about Audible. Nobody listens to us there. I'm almost to the point that if like you can prove to me that you listened on Audible and you were our first Audible listener, I'll figure out something to send you or give you if we're at the same track. I'll figure out something, make it fun. Because like Justin says, that'll be on a t-shirt one day. Can't forget about it. Audible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
and YouTube.
You
are on YouTube.
Yeah, thank you. That's the one I was forgetting. I do not know how I forgot YouTube. But all right, guys, I will see you next week, and we'll probably see Daniel before the year is over again.
No doubt. Book it.